What's up, fam? We are right here with Destiny
Yo.
to do another episode. I think our first ever episode was with him actually, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm just here, with a few questions, because his music has been popping lately, and he's been putting on the work. He's been putting the work, man. Shout out to Destiny. So I have a few questions here. I wasn't really prepared for this interview. It's just something that we are doing.
All right.
So when did you first realize music was something you wanted to pursue seriously?
Well, I grew up in a family where people were always passionate about music, you see.
Okay.
Like from the songs that they used to play to what I was just listening to as a kid. But it didn't hit me then, you see.
Okay.
It was only around the time I was 14, 15. I just began listening to music, just stuff that inspired me. I used to listen to Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Fun fact, I used to listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Then I got into trap, Yeah, I got into trap. Back then, I wasn't even listening to this so-called conscious hip-hop. You see, I was more of a Migos fan.
Okay.
Yeah, so then later on, I kind of found myself as I grew older.
Okay.
So I would say around 16 is when I actually thought that I should take this seriously, yeah.
And who were the artists that influenced like your sound, growing up? Like if you can name, name just 3 artists,
I'll say J. Cole.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'll say Wise.
Wise. That's a shortcut. That's just okay.
Wise.
That's just okay. He's just trying to impress me, man. He's just trying to impress me. That's all.
You basically inspired me in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So
that's good to hear.
I'll say. Can I say Nas? I'll say Nas. I like Nas.
Yeah, Nas is the best. He's one of the best, actually. And I have another question. Okay, how would you describe your music to someone who's hearing you for the first time?
First time, I'll say I'd like to describe myself as someone who's raw, passionate, and just a creative person is what I would like to. I don't box myself in. I can do anything. You can give me an amapiano beat, I can do it. You can give me a hip hop beat, I'll just go. So I have the creative freedom to just express myself. That's how I can just,
And do you have like a message you want people to take from your music? Like, do you have a specific message? Or is your music like for certain people, age groups, or you are a person who's just trying to touch everyone at the same time?
Yes.
What is your message like precisely?
My message is just live in your truth.
Okay.
Just be yourself. Don't box yourself in, Stand out, try things, do things. Just be passionate about what you do and then just go with it. I think that's the message.
Wow.
Yeah.
And which song, like one of the songs that you have made, which one means the most to you and why? Like for the music, the songs that we have recorded, I know we have recorded how many songs now?
We recorded a lot of songs. Yeah, we recorded a lot of songs.
Which one means the most to you? Like,
I'll say, if I have to think, we have a lot of songs.
You don't have to think about it so deeply. It's one song that comes to mind like instantly. That's the one. It must be effortless.
Man, you see, that's what happens when you're an artist. You have to. I'll say, Lost in My Thoughts. It was actually a feature.
Lost in My Thoughts. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I love that song.
That song is fire.
Yeah, it should be. It's on my top 10 actually.
Wow.
So my top 10. So what's the biggest challenges like so far? Biggest challenges that you're facing right now as an upcoming artist, because there's a lot that's happening in the music industry these days.
Of course.
It's so saturated with a lot of artists. And right now, like everyone that you see making music and stuff like that, it's so easy. You can just get like yourself a computer and a microphone, and then you're out there, you get an online beat, and then you make it. The advantage of consistency, and we spoke about it last time. We were talking about being delusional and stuff like that. But what is the biggest challenge that you're facing? You know,
I would say, especially if you're not financially there, I feel like the biggest challenge for me personally, I would say, not having the equipment. Because sometimes I'm in my creative state, but then I don't have anywhere to put my thoughts.
Yeah.
You see, so and studios are expensive, but I'll say that's the biggest challenge for me. And also, I'm gonna add and say, not having the support of your own people.
Yeah, that's a big one.
You see, just because I'm doing rap in English, it kind of discombobulates people in a way, if I can put it that way. There's a lot of confusion. It's like they think I'm bragging or I'm trying to seem like I'm better than everybody else, but I'm not. It's just I'm trying to create a lane for myself that nobody else is, something that nobody else is doing. You see, so I think it's a challenge for me because the support is not there. You see, so this is what I think.
So have you ever felt like giving up? And if so, like what kept you going? Because I know many of us, I mean, there are times like it doesn't have to be about music.
Yeah.
In anything, it's hard staying disciplined. It's hard doing the same thing over and over and over again, especially if you do not see like exponential growth. Because some of the times, you can do stuff, you can do everything right, and then it just doesn't work out. Like, have you ever felt like giving up in those moments?
Definitely. I feel like everybody has gone through a kind of stage or the kind of phase, where you feel like nothing is going your way. But I feel like if you just believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing, you can overcome such situations. So I think just believing in God and knowing that He gave me this gift of, just being a creative person, I could just, play with words and make a song out of nothing, you see. So I would say that's how I overcame it, but I've gone through it. And sometimes I do actually go through it every single day, but I just tell myself like I have to keep going.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's
everywhere, bro.
It's really a struggle. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you one of those people who make like long-term goals, or you just stick to short-term goals?
I'll stick to short-term goals. Yeah, okay. I'll stick to short-term goals. But obviously I want to see myself as a modern pioneer of this new English rap in Zim. Nobody else is doing. We had legends before like Monetsi and all these guys, but right now nobody's doing it. So I just want to be known as that one guy who opened the way. Okay,
like in terms of like rap and stuff.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah. So to anyone who's watching, guys, if you haven't checked out Destiny's music, I'm gonna drop the link in the comment section. Go and check him out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. His music is all over.
Shout out.
And I'm pretty sure, you would actually be one of those followers that he's talking about because his music is amazing.
All right. Thanks for that. That's very kind.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually wanted to speak about, I wanted to say, what's your take on the current state of hip hop as it is, or just music in general? Like with the advancement of AI and all these things, like what's your take on that? AI in music.
I think AI in music, I think we spoke about this earlier on when we were on our way here. It's so almost like the internet, back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. It wasn't, or even YouTube back in 2009, 2008. It wasn't a thing, but people who actually started, putting out stuff and actually seeing this as something that's going to be like a normal kind of thing, in the future.
Yes.
Those are the people who were actually somewhere in life in terms of, creating. And I think if we as artists like look at AI as our enemy, I mean that's where the problem comes in. We look at producers like Timbaland, you look at so many producers that I've seen actually using AI. Some of them do not come out and say we use AI, but they actually using AI. Yes, yeah. And they have created artists. I know artists who sometimes they create a song, and then AI has these voices that if that voice in AI fits your face, actually, you can actually use that as your own song. as long as you just buy the rights and all that kind of stuff, the company behind it won't even mention anything about it. So it'll be your song, it'll be your beat, it'll be all yours. 100%. So I would say it's actually best to work with AI because you can create beats with AI. You can create, you can sample music with AI. You can literally do anything. And it has taken over everywhere. It's not only in music. It has taken over offices. It has taken over emails, everything. You can reply to your emails like this. You can literally put this.
But some would say that it's actually replacing people in a way. Taking people's jobs. Imagine, you're sitting behind a computer desk, writing your emails, handwriting your emails, and then this AI thing comes along, and all you do is just click one button and it's done. Yeah, don't you think it takes away your job?
I don't really think so, because as humans, if we can develop ourselves, we can always there's room for us to develop. And if you see a human being creating an AI, it shows where our capacity or our potential lies.
Yeah, for
you understand? Sure. So if we are creative human beings, we won't be afraid of AI and say, AI is going to take our jobs. It's almost like autopilot. It's
autopilot, right? Yeah.
Whereby you do have like a pilot, but the plane is doing everything on its own, right? So we wouldn't say it's taking their jobs, but we
still need someone to
operate that system. Yes. So if you're not developed as a person, or you go to university and go and study something that is irrelevant in the future, then that's your fault. You cannot blame AI for that. We are simply evolving as human beings. Back in the day, remember, I don't know, you were born in the 2000s, right?
Yeah. I'm a young guy.
I can guarantee you, very, very few people never even imagined that this could be possible. Where you have an artificial intelligence taking over systems like it is doing now. Even our phones.
I mean, some governments are being. I don't know. There was this one story where they say a certain country has been using AI to run the government, to make decisions.
Of course. But churches are doing that, bruh. If churches are literally doing that, they're writing their sermons with AI.
Yeah.
But I can say there is a positive and negative side to everything. It's more like money, right? Money is a tool. Some people say money is evil. Money is not evil. The love of money is evil. The lust of money is evil.
Yes.
When you depend on something like that, on that level, you replace God. Like, for instance, AI will replace God. Because if you want something, if you want something now, let's say you are stuck in life, you just go and type AI, ChatGPT gives you all the answers.
People are writing CVs with AI.
Yes, sometimes it's not even accurate, but because it's full of information, and they just think it's accurate because it produces information instantly. And we have like microwave mentality as people. We like things to come, to us so quickly and instantly
and easily.
That we have actually reduced, and we have tainted that part of us that is creative. Because we don't want manual labor, we don't want to put effort in things anymore. So this can actually be a problem in every area of our lives, like in relationships.
Yes.
It can be a problem in anything because all you want is things to be done like this.
Instantly.
Like you get your girlfriends, for instance, she says she wants to meet or she wants to see you today, and then you say you are busy with A, B, C, D. She's going to see it as offensive or something because her mind has been conditioned to get things instantly. Or if let's say she wants... you must buy her something, for instance, and then you say you are not able to do that because you have invested your money.
Do it later, then it becomes an issue,
You understand? So AI has its own negatives and there's positives, and it's best for us to focus on the positive sides, and it's best for us not to actually depend on it, rather work with it. Just like the internet, we work with it. And when we work with something like that, we become more developed. We become more...
So what you're saying is we have to adapt to situations.
Yeah.
Because, if you don't, then you get left behind.
That's true.
We have self-driving cars now. That could easily replace Uber drivers.
Yeah. And those Uber drivers should actually think out of the box. Because let's say you're driving Uber, you invest that same money that you're using to buy cars that are self-driving, and then you're starting your own business, right?
Yeah.
You are no longer sitting behind the wheel, but now you have like a system You are inside of that system.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rather than always be one of those people who are complaining and why is this happening? Why is that happening?
Without taking initiative to change
See
things.
where the trend is going. It's all about trends. Life is all about trends. Everything's all about trends. Music, everything is structured around trends. And if you do not look at it, you are stuck in the past.
It's like a rapper that doesn't evolve their style. Eventually they'll say you're outdated, and then someone new comes along, and then starts ruling the game.
Yeah, things are always changing. Things are constantly changing. But we must also stick with the fundamentals, because remember, there are seasons, and you do not get other seasons. Like there's summer, autumn, winter, spring.
Yeah.
Like everything is always circling around, and you must stay within that circle.
But I'm sure the people out there watching can learn from that, and just know not to depend on it, but utilize it to your own benefit. You see. Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who has watched. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button. For more content like this. Peace.
More content is coming. Just stay tuned. Just be patient with us.
Yeah.
Shout out.